of Garth, the human fighter, Tiffany, the half-elven wizard, Toriel, the Dragonborn paladin, and Murdoch, the half-orc warlock.
Yeah, he's a warlock.
Find themselves in the land of Trymira, jumping into, while I can guess, making a mess of most of the things they've generally encountered, involved in murder cases, getting caught up in pseudo politics, arrested by the police force of magic in the land, have managed to find their way to the forest city of Siorsa. Upon entering, they met one of their old friends, Adeline, who offered them food and shelter for the night. Upon leaving, she gave them a task to complete to acquire her a few items.
All right, I remember what happened.
Some information. After taking your time to sort of situate yourselves in the town, talk to a few shop owners and such, Tiffany left the party in search of a library or some form of knowledge. Murdoch, Garth, and Toriel made their way up to the cleric in order to get some information on a curse, or a few curses and enchantments apparently ailing Murdoch. They were encountered by a mansion surrounded by a very thick brush, and where the path continued, there was overgrown, very thorny vines snaking across. Toriel decided to smack the vines in an attempt to knock on what she assumed was some form of door, breaking the vines in progress, a few vines in progress, and we left off with her being grappled by said vines.
Hentai!
Whoa! Not the same thing.
It's not a particularly hard thing to think of.
So, ask you what you like to do, Toriel. You are currently considered grappled by a load of vines and slowly being pulled closer.
Can I try to break him off by pure strength?
Sure, go ahead and make a strength roll.
Alright.
It would actually help if your dungeon masters in the game, wouldn't it?
What? Yeah, it would be extremely helpful if the dungeon master was in the game. But you know, I don't care. I actually do care. That's a 16.
16. Yeah. So
Solid.
you do manage to pull a few of the vines from your arms. There are a couple that jump back and begin to grind up your legs. And the ones you drop to the floor seem to break into a kind of ashy sort of form before being blown away by the wind. The more you break, the more rapid these vines grow back over your body. You do manage to make a decent bit of headway, and
God damn it.
for the most part you are free. However, your leg is still being pulled closer to the gate.
Okay. Can I do something else? Can I stomp on the vines? Can I break more vines? Because that's definitely what I want to do.
Sure thing. What would you like to? You gave me a few things that you want to do there. What do you want to try first?
Okay, so I'm like mostly free, but one leg is getting pulled towards the gate.
So you're just getting
Currently, you're still grappled by one leg. Or one leg is grappled.
I mean, I can use my hammer and sort of just flip it upside down and stomp on the vine with the hammer.
Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Okay. Baboom.
So I'm trying to slam into these.
That is 20. What would that be? 22. 22. Yes, 22 would that be.
And with resounding,
Actually, 25.
you do snap off all the vines that are currently connected to your leg, and they kind of fall limp on the floor and shrivel up, turn to an ashy sort of substance, and begin to be sort of blown away by the wind. Looking back at the gate, the bits that you had broken off and that were grappling you, and the bits that you managed to break off from that, seem to be reforming themselves out of the bushes to either side of it and interlocking themselves once again.
So we're where we started.
Essentially.
Okay.
Good
Seems so
times. I mean, do we want to flash coin around now? They said that's how we get his attention.
Well, there must be anyone close to him. Maybe we can approach him over this person. In a good or the bad manner. Oh, of course, I prefer the good manner, you know.
Yes, of course you do. Mhm.
Murdoch kind of pipes up.
That's true.
Maybe you shouldn't try that again.
Oh really? I was gonna.
Tourists!
I was just gonna smash the wall next.
Oh, be my guest.
I think banging our head against walls or vines doesn't really help anything. Didn't that guy, that Alfie guy mention a casino this guy owns?
All right, the casino. Yeah,
Let's
but-
go there, win a bunch of money, and well, then kinda, well, see
Yes,
what's going
because I can think of nothing more fun than lose money at the casino.
Why is there a casino in a woodland village?
Well, people gotta have
Because
amusements.
Chen said so.
Oh, even better reason. But you know, people need amusement, so yeah.
I mean, if you want to find out more about a casino, you're welcome to do your best to find out.
Alright, well,
We would like to.
Asking all these questions.
We would like to
We
approach a
rectify
person and ask him, could you kindly tell us about the casino and point us
well,
into
yeah,
the
well,
direction?
So
while
from
living,
where you are in respects to where most of the town seems to be centered, it's about a 10 to 15 minute walk. And the only reason there was a person for you to ask a question there before, he seemed to be going down another road. So there aren't too many people in this area. It's relatively sparse at the moment.
Then we go and search an area where people are.
I would say
so-
the sparse area is kinda maybe where casino would be more likely located. I don't know.
So going to the left would be taking you towards the direction of Adeline's house. Going to the right, you have no idea. And going back down the path you came would take you back to the town center.
I mean, town center sounds like there are people there, right?
Yeah. More
Or
people
do we
around.
just want to go explore and go to the right? Maybe find a black tree. What do you want to do, me?
Well, let's go to the center. We can ask anyone about either things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you
I guess
guys
we're going there since, well, I hear no objection.
You guys make your way back down the path which you came up before. You notice the houses become a lot more clustered together the further you walk down it. Everything seems to have a kind of flow to it, as if it was built along natural lines. It flows in a very interesting way, as most towns and focuses of civilization that you're familiar with tend to be focused around some sort of general shape or structure. This one doesn't seem to make much sense to you, but as you make your way back along these paths, ducking out away with a few brambles, dodging over a few mounds, which you assume to be houses, due to the windows on the sides of them, you do eventually make your way back to the town centre, where there are a number of individuals. There's one elf, young male, very long blonde hair,
Okay.
bluish eyes. He seems to be like
That's what I
lazily.
thought you looked like, Chen. Tall, blonde hair. Long blonde hair.
He seems to be handing out a series of flyers and leaflets and such, and no one really paying much attention to him.
I go over
there's
and take
an
the flyer.
old. You going up to him?
You weren't ready with. You can finish your description.
There are more people around, or you can go straight up to him.
You can finish describing people.
Okay. There's an old gentleman who seems to be sitting right up against the fountain, hood over his head. You can't really see his face from where you are. He seems to be doing something in the water of the fountain, kind of lazily. There's a woman with a series of bags and kind of struggling to hold a lot of things, but making her way gingerly across the other side of the square. Other than that, there aren't too many. Everyone seems to be either going in of a shop or going into a house or through some sort of...
Yeah, I still think I'm going to Flyer Guy.
I'm thinking, is Garth really a noble man? Would he help the woman carry the bags?
I mean, does she
She
look?
carry
Does she
on
look
bags.
like she needs help with the bags?
She's a strong woman.
She seems to be dealing with it,
Alright.
but there are a lot of bags.
With how many bags?
She's got a large bag on her shoulder. She's got a series of bags in her hands, like occupying both arms. She's got another one that's kind of tied around her back into her waist and sort of a little bit throwing off her balance, but she's managing to shift the stuff in her hands so she keeps her balance.
And no one is paying attention to Flyer Guy.
A few people are walking past him, but they just completely ignore him as he extends his hand.
Shit, my
Well.
conscience is
Sounds like
torn.
Newcastle.
Help Flyer Guy by giving him attention, or help woman by carrying bags? Ah, my conscience can't handle this decision.
Are you breaking down into this?
No, I'm not, idiot.
Well, in this case, Garth can't help you since he's well, you. I don't know.
I'm not
It's
that
sound acting.
unstable. I'm just gonna break down because of this decision. I'm imagining in like a Telltale moment though, where you have to choose one or the other.
Alright.
I think I'm going to bag lady.
Alright, then I'll get a flyer.
I think she's just in a hurry.
Alright, we'll leave that for a moment. Tiffany, after you left the others, you saw them walk off towards up of a hill, sort of over a few mounds and such, and kind of disappear into the distance. You talked to a few people, and they told you that there weren't too many libraries. There wasn't a localized library in this area, but there are a few bookshops, and there's also a series of places where you can get information. Adeline's name also came up if you were willing to trade for information.
Okay. Am I not going anywhere, or am I just chilling?
You, at the moment, you're still in the main square, the main circle, sort of by the fountain, because you didn't want to go with them to look for the cleric. You wanted to go see if you could find out some knowledge.
Yes. Well, I've hopefully got to some direction of the closest bookshop.
Yeah. Is that where you want to go, to the bookshop?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you, following the instructions that you were given, you make your way off down the path, which you started to go towards Adeline's house. And as you do, before you get to the part where the path becomes a little overgrown and a little more unkempt, I guess. There's a very small shop with leaves that make an archway around the door. The walls appear to be made from very small interwoven branches. And over the top it says something in Elvish, which you can read. It says Shane's Books.
I enter.
So pushing the door, it's a little bit of a struggle. The door kind of, and you see like bits of dust seem to fall down, bits of bracken and such. The door swings open. It's almost as if the door is a little too big for its frame, but it does slide open, and inside there's a very musty smell that hits you. It's dimly lit in here. There are a few mage lights, giving off a very dull glow. You see the walls are adorned with books from end to
I
end.
love books.
In the middle, there are a few tables, and each of these tables have little stands on them, and on the stands are also various books. Looking towards the back, there's a very small gentleman who seems to be kind of his attention diverted from the door at the moment, rumbling around in a few boxes.
I say hello, is Shane here?
Oh, hello, dear.
Hello, are you Shane?
Shane, yes, that's me. How can I help you with today?
Come to ask about a black tree, or if you have anything referencing a black tree in any books or anything.
A black... What the last like yourself one with a black tree?
I just want to find out about it. I've been hearing people talking about it all across the village, and I was just curious as to what it is.
He stops from books rumbling around these boxes, leans up, and he kind of makes his way down. And as he comes forward, he gets a bit more into one of the lights on the walls, and you can see now that it's a small, very old dwarven gentleman. His beard is kind of... His hair, it stops at about his chin, but the strands that come down the front towards the side of his head go into his beard and all sort of being interwoven into one very long braid. One of his eyes is kind of clouded over. There's a scar across of it. Very red, beanie nose. He walks up to you. Well, I've never seen it myself, but I hear on the outskirts of town there's a tree filled with sickness, poisoning the land around it.
Right. Does it not affect you?
Oh no, it's far too far away. Not many people go over there though.
What would happen if someone were to chop it down?
I can't rightly say. Many have tried. None succeeded.
What do you mean by tried?
They took an axe to it and they hit it. Hard as nails.
Do you reckon there's something inside of it, or maybe a curse, or?
I don't know, my dear.
Okay, fair enough. Have you got any books on it?
He thinks to himself for a second. He kind of strokes his braid. I think the last book I had I sold to a elven lady. She was in here the other week.
Can you describe her?
Very tall, slender, brown eyes, lovely brown hair. Hazel? I don't know. It was something not quite right, but...
Okay. Do you have any books on Godwin Ramsay?
For fuck's sake. Leave it go.
Godwin Ramsay. No, I believe she bought that as well.
You don't have any books for Godwin Ramsay? Not one.
I don't get many books. What you see on offer is
I just want to learn how to cook. You
hard for me these days to get around.
got any books on like magic, casting, anything like that?
Oh, lots. And he points to the walls, and you can see various books. Some of them called like the secrets of arcane enchantments and the balance of power. And there appear to be various books on alchemy, enchantment, spells.
Magical beast and how to kill them.
Yes, that's my favorite book actually.
There are a few books that allude to having information on creatures and.
Could I have a one that's about alchemy and a one about using animal parts for spells? Are they to buy or did they take out?
It is a bookshop, so you would assume that they are to buy.
Well, it could be a library for all I know. It could be a charity where you take them out and then bring them back. How much
It's
would
kind
they?
of medieval society. They're not really social.
How much would a book on alchemy be and a book on using animal parts for magic be?
Well, it depends on the book.
Don't forget one about enchantment.
Oh, I don't care about enchantment. I'm fine.
Mordok does.
Mordok's not here.
Marduk's not here, neither are you, ghostly voice.
Right. Maybe
She's,
alchemy for
fine, whatever. I'm
beginners.
not even gonna bother anymore.
Alchemy for beginners, and any books on using like desert animals, like scorpions and lemur body parts and stuff like that.
He strokes his braid again, and he walks over to the left side of the shop, looks to the top of the bookshelf, and he points. And it's quite strange for you because these bookshelves are about 3 times his height, and he points to a book on the top shelf. And you kind of wonder for a second how he managed to get it up there, but he kind of points to it.
Is he expecting me to get it myself or something?
In fact, he kind of turns around and goes back to his box towards the back of the shop. Let me know if you find something you want.
Well, then I'll pick out what he just pointed at. Easy oath.
So, the book he did point at, you pull it off the shelf, and it's called Secrets of the Desert.
Written by Chwen Pool. You're the author now.
There doesn't appear to be an author written on it.
Isn't that by... Isn't anything with a good name. David Atwingborough.
You want to look around the book for it?
Yeah.
So looking over the book on the inside of the covers, but front and back, you don't appear to see any names, so to speak. However, on the back, in the bottom left-hand corner, there is a small sigil, almost stamped into the leather of what this book appears to be bound by.
David Atwingborough. I ask how much for this.
Might as well set you back around 10 gold.
That's fine. Is this one on? Is there any on alchemy around here?
So go ahead and roll investigation.
19
No,
plus. I need to find my investigation. Plus 3.
That's free. Okay, so yeah, you take an extensive look through these books, and you see a number of them that are of interest to you. Books on magical creatures, books on how to summon certain individuals.
Like my hawk.
Books about becoming a more astute wizard. Getting towards the end of the shelf, you do manage to find ones that appear to be about harvesting creatures, the specifics of certain beings, their uses, for either medicinal or alchemical purposes.
Take one of them.
Which one? There's one that appears to be more focused on the anatomy of certain creatures. There's one that appears to be more focused on the base reagents and such, and how different chemicals interact with each other. There's one that's it seems to be more advanced alchemy in terms of the effects of different potions and mixing certain potions together to create different effects and such like that.
What was the one that I was going to say? There was the one on the animal parts, wasn't there?
Yeah, there's one that's about the anatomy of.
I don't want the anatomy one. And then there was one on. I don't remember. What was the second one?
Bits about the basics of alchemy in
That
a little more detail.
I'll take that one.
Yeah, so you pull it off the shelf. You now know the secrets of the desert, and this book called Alchemist's Delight.
Ooh, charming. And how much are they together?
Well, Alchemist's Delight. Very old book. I'd say I'd put you back around another 30 gold.
That's okay.
Holy shit, stuff, that's not overpriced.
I'll take them both.
Yes, that'd be 40 for the pair.
I pay him.
He takes it. He takes both the books from you, and he seems to take like a strip of paper from his desk, almost as if he's pulling out the wood itself, and it bends back almost like a piece of paper, and he folds it over to the other side of the desk. As he does, he pulls the books underneath it through the side, and the books become wrapped. He signs across the desk towards you. I hope you find what you're looking for, my dear.
Would you be okay if I summoned a familiar in here? Or would it disturb you?
I'd prefer if you did that on the street.
Where would the people be upset if I did? Or do I have to go somewhere private?
I can't imagine they would. Everyone's very, shall we say, magically astute in skills.
Well, I guess thank you, and I'll go summon my hawk again. So I leave the shop, go outside, find a nice patch of smooth ground, and I summon my hawk again.
So while you're doing that,
wait, what were the other animals? I wish I had my hawk.
Toriel, you've made your way over to this woman who seems to be with a lot of books, and as you kind of come up on her, she glances at you for a second, does like a little double take, and then kind of picks up her pace.
She doesn't like me? Okay.
Chen, where can I find the familiar list?
What's the spell called?
I'm not sure, I'll have to check. Because we just started the game with me having one.
Yeah, but that's because you had a spell. It is a bat, a crab, a frog, a hawk, a lizard, an octopus, an owl, a poisonous snake, a fish, a rat, a raven, a seahorse, a spider, or a weasel.
Wasn't just summon familiar?
I believe it's called Find Familiar.
Find familiar.
It's a first level spell.
Can you let me think about it while they're doing that?
Yeah.
I mean,
So, Toriel, this one was giving you
I
a
go
double
after her
take.
and was just like ask, do you need help?
No, no, no. I'm fine.
Okay. I mean, if she says so.
Won't you just kind of check? Because there's probably more going on.
Is there?
know.
Should I just rifle, like, do you need help? No.
Hey,
Let's
I'm
talk!
a few meters away. Hey, I'm a few meters away and I don't care actually. Well, my character doesn't.
It's just like,
Currently, these things are happening simultaneously, Garth. So at this time, you technically be talking to the guy with the leaflets.
it just
But
to me
we'll
doesn't
do you
make,
in a second.
it just doesn't make sense to me. That I go ask her, do you need help? She says no, and then I just stalk her.
You don't have to explain your decision. You do whatever you
So
want to do. man.
no, I go return to Flyer Guy.
Okay, so you make your way back towards Garth, and
Well,
he's already started talking to this gentleman.
Mhm. Hey,
man.
good man. What are you handing out here?
I'm just like trying to get some promotion for my shop, dude.
What kind of shop do you pursue?
We sell like medicinal supplies.
Sounds like weed, dude.
Well, that's something I can use regularly. Do you have something for, well, travel and, well, I don't know, heavy cuts, fighting bruises?
Yeah, man.
Oh, right. Do you have shit that calms you down? You know, something you can just, well, pop into your pipe after a hard day to calm
I'm
a
not
bit
doing
down?
drugs on this adventure, my god.
I want all the drugs!
I'm always cool, dude.
Give you like days and you get killed.
Okay. Well, can I have a
Marcus
flyer?
He gives you a flyer, and you look at it. It's just a blank piece of paper, man.
What is this?
No,
Flyers in my shop, dude. And he points behind his shoulder, and there's just a really nice looking storefront, to be honest.
So,
It's
okay.
got like roses around the door frame. They kind of snake off into vines which cover up and down. Through it, there's a few windows which peek through into an interior, and you can see what appears to be a few stands in the shop floor.
Mhm. Oh, okay. Well, and then I look over and
Toriel
Well,
has
yeah, if she
come up
comes.
to you at this point.
All right.
Hello?
This guy is selling medical supplies. Look at his lovely flyer.
Oh, hey man, you want to take a flyer? We got
Yes.
some good stuff, and
Yeah,
he hands you a blank piece of paper.
there's nothing written on this flyer.
What? And he kind of looks at it for a second. He looks at the stack in his hand for a second. Oh man, I must have forgot to print these.
There's a printer in this world.
Mechanical printers, I suppose.
I'm sure your shop is vastly fascinating, but in another matter,
Do you want to come take a look?
could you point us to the direction of the casino?
You guys one of those cats, eh?
Well, all we want is to talk with the cleric. But he doesn't like visitors, apparently.
You mean Seldor?
Yeah, that
Yes.
douchebag.
No, man, Seldor, he doesn't like to really talk to people. At least that's what I've heard. I mean, I've never spoken to him, but, you know, like, I hear that dude's kind of a dick, you know?
I heard that. Whatever. Let's get to the important stuff. Business. So, what can you offer us? Healing potions,
You
bandages?
want to come take a look at my stuff,
Bring
dude?
it like a bootleg.
Yeah,
bullshit
definitely.
Yes,
guy.
we would love to take a look at your stuff.
He kind of turns around. He like very slovenly walks up to the door, pushes it, swings it open. First thing that hits you is this very fragrant scent in the air.
Am I getting high?
I guess it's a lot pleasant, is it?
It's not bad, but it's not, you're not used to it. It's very
Okay.
herbal. It's quite damp,
Okay.
but it's not an unpleasant atmosphere. As you get a better view of this shop floor now, you see that there are various jars on the walls, on these shelves. There's a few pouches of certain things with strange labels on them. Towards the back there appears to be like a large, almost like an incense burner, but it's about the size of an average dwarf on the back of the shop. It's just letting off this kind of smoke into the air. He walks into the shop and is like, "So, like, what kind of stuff you looking for, man?"
Do you have anything that either heals us or makes us hit enemies better with attacks?
No, dude. I don't like the word hit. It's a very peaceful environment.
Do you have anything that
Just kind
makes
of like,
anything that makes enemies more peaceful when I hit them with my hammer?
I mean, peace really is the way to go, man. Like, use the word enemy. I don't think we should have enemies. I mean, we're all just the same
Do you
on
have
different walks of life. You know what I mean?
Do you have something I can that makes when an unkind fellow approaches me to get him to leave and not ruin my aura?
Yeah, man. And he walks up to you and he gives you a hug.
What?
Give me a hug.
Love, man. Love.
You misunderstand me. I don't want him. You know what? Never mind. Just
Well, that's an
Something-
interesting thought.
something that heals.
He sort of thinks to himself for a second. You see,
He's still hugging me.
he is still hugging you. Yeah.
Can I hug back super hard?
Next round check.
Oh. Shit. It's only 11.
Alright.
Evan, so the way he hugged you, it was over the top of your arms. If you were trying to hug him back, you'd have to first like kind of push his arms out of the way, and you try, but his hug seems to,
Power of love.
yeah, the barrel of love is strong, man.
I mean, he's not smelly or anything, is he?
You can't discern his smell from the smell of this shop. Everything.
Oh, okay,
is
yeah.
one odor that is in the shop at the moment.